3 minutes past 8. There's a bit of a theme developing to this morning's show. Lost wedding rings.
Yes. There's a text that's coming in, another one saying, I got married in the Dominican Republic and the next day I lost my wedding ring while snorkeling out at sea. I was absolutely gutted. But the day after that, my wife went scuba diving and she asked if she could go to the area where I lost it, and she found it.
See, that's just
glistening on the seabed. A few hours later, she returned with the ring. Everyone was in shock and I cried.
Absolutely extraordinary. Richard and Anne got married at the end of May. They join us now. Morning, Anne.
Morning.
And morning to you, Richard.
Good morning, both of you.
Thanks for coming on. So, Anne, I'll start with you. So you got married at the end of May. Where'd you go on your honeymoon?
Jersey.
Okay. With the wedding ring?
With both wedding rings, yep.
Both wedding rings. And then disaster struck. Talk us through it.
So on the Thursday, 5 days after we got married, we went to a little beach. Rich decided to go for a swim in the sea. I was sat there reading my book. Rich said, I'm going to take my ring off because I don't want to lose it when I go for a swim in the sea. And so I was like, yeah, okay.
The irony.
Yeah, he goes off, comes back. And then we sort of sat there for a bit and then we were like, okay, we'll get going. So we gathered up all our stuff, walked down the beach a bit. Then I think I went to hold his hand and I was like, have you got your ring? And he's like, yeah, it's in the bag. We took everything out of the bag, couldn't find it. He walked back to the spot we'd been, had a look back through, couldn't find it, went back to the car, searched everything again, and then he was like, no.
So,
Rich, your heart must have sank.
Oh, my Lord. I didn't just... I mean, everybody knows when you lose something that's precious to you, it's the worst feeling in the world.
Yeah.
I was absolutely despondent. And the steps, there were steep steps at the beach, and I was running up and down. I got my 10,000 steps in within about 5 minutes, just going up and down trying to find this ring.
So at that moment, did you think that you had gone swimming with it, or what was going through your mind? So you were pretty confident you had taken it off?
Yeah, I knew I'd taken it off. As Anne said, you take things off so you don't lose them, and then as each and every one of your listeners knows that sometimes they put things in safe places and they forget where the safe place is.
It's not safe,
but
yeah.
So then
what happened next then, Richard?
So I was up and down, looking through the sand. I went to the cafe, really couldn't find it. And then we drove back to the hotel. We were staying at the Atlantic Hotel in Jersey. And I drove back and I was absolutely despondent that this had been lost. And I just didn't know who to call and what to do. And then I spoke to the concierge at the hotel, and he put me in touch with a guy called Steve, who does this, metal detecting for a hobby. And then I spoke to Steve, and then within 10 minutes, Steve was on his way down to the beach.
Oh, my goodness me. And he found it.
He did. He found it so quickly. I'm so pleased. And the fact that somebody's willing just to give up his time for a complete stranger, really, so fantastic.
See, but you never met Steve, is that right? After he'd found the ring, he took it back to the hotel. You guys never met?
We've never met. I've spoken to him once, and that was just to tell him where the ring was. And no, we've never met at all.
Well, look, I've got a little surprise for you because I've got Steve on the other line. Morning, Steve.
Good morning.
Steve.
Hi, Steve.
Hi, Rich. Hi, Anne.
Steve, what an amazing story. What a hero you are.
I wouldn't say I'm a hero, no. It's just something I enjoy doing very much. It's my main focus now for my metal detecting, is to try and reunite people with their lost items. It's very rewarding, and it's just a nice thing to do, I think. So, it's all good.
It's just such a great story, and it's literally like looking for a needle in a haystack. I can't believe how fast you found it.
Richard's was actually a very easy job because he gave me very good information on where it would be, and because it was the top of the beach, it leaves a very narrow strip to search. So that was a very easy job, and they can take multiple hours if people have lost them swimming because we have such big tides.
Right, well,
we get such vast areas of beach.
And Anne, what would you like to say to Steve?
I would like to say thank you very much, Steve. You are my hero. My husband's hero.
Yeah, you say Richard.
You're very welcome.
Well, look, it's been lovely having you all on. Richard and Anne, we wish you both the very best with the rest of your lives. And Steve, thank you so much for coming on this morning. A round of applause for Steve, everyone. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much. Thank
Nice
you.
to speak to you all. Bye.
Good to have a happy ending as well, wasn't it? 27 minutes past.